him gonna pay for it.
This is the regular meeting of the Mobile City Council, Tuesday, January 28th. Please stand for our invocation, led by Pastor Tony Laguerre, Public Safety Chaplain. Remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Morning, Council. I greet you from the strong and resolute Mobile Police Department. Let's pray together. Our Father, we thank you for this winter morning, and we look to you with grateful hearts. We're mindful of your word, which reveals to us your character. It says how you look favorably upon the humble and not so favorably upon the proud. We pray that you'd honor us with your presence, as what we do betters our community. We ask this in the strong name of Christ. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, President Small.
Here.
Vice President Gregory.
Here.
Councilmember Penn.
Here.
Councilmember Carroll.
Here.
Councilmember Reynolds.
Here.
Councilmember Daves.
Here.
Councilmember Woods.
Here.
Mr. President?
1 second. Mr. Penn.
Would you like to do it now?
After statement of rules.
Yeah, after the statement of rules.
Okay.
Statement of rules.
Okay. Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to our January 28, 2025 meeting. We do apologize for running a little late. We pre-conference lasted a little bit longer than anticipated. At this meeting, we do have rules. These are the abbreviated rules for our meeting. At this time, I ask if anyone have any type of electronic device, including cell phones, please at this time put on the off or the vibrate position, the off or the vibrate position. Any person that is desiring to address the Mobile City Council must indicate the resolution, the ordinance, a public hearing agenda item before entering the meeting. When addressing the council, the speaker must give his or her name. Any person that desires to speak to the council on a non-agenda item must contact the city clerk office no later than 2:00 p.m. the Thursday prior to the council meeting. The subject that he or she wishes to express to the Mobile City Council must be identified and pertain to the city Mobile business. Any person that has not given proper notice to the city clerk office and wish to speak on a non-agenda item will not be allowed to address this council. Each speaker is allowed 3 minutes to address the council. A bell will sound to indicate the end of 2 minutes. 1 minute remains for summarizing. The second bell indicates that the time has expired. When addressing the council, there will be no personal address to any individual council members. All statements are to be made to the chair who will recognize any council members to respond, who wishes to respond. To maintain decorum, there will be no undue applause and or public outcry allowed. Mr. Penn.
Thank you, President Small. Today we are blessed to have the students from Burns Middle School. Can we give them a big hand for being here? My classmate, Warren Thomas, is the director. We have members from the chorus. Of course, that's in Councilman Woods' district, and but he reached out because we're classmates from the best high school in the world, LaFleur High School. But the chorus at this time, you can come down. We have members from the chorus as well as the Student Government Association that represent the school, and you can make your way down. They will do one selection for us, but I want to commend, I know Councilman Woods will join in with me after I speak, but I'm so grateful to see students want to learn more about government. I was a part of the Student Government Association when I was younger, and so for them to be down here, also a part of the chorus as well. But I'm not going to show my talents today. But as they come down, let's give them another big hand.
Good morning. Gonna do this selection and get out your way.
God's body, it is His will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need to survive. You are important to me. I need you to survive. I need you. You need me. We're all a part of God's body. Stand with me. Agree with me. We're all a part of God's body. It is His will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive. You are important to me. I need you to survive.
I pray for you. You pray for me. I love you. I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you to survive.
I pray for you. You pray for me. I love you. I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you to survive. I pray for you. You pray for me. I love you. I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you to survive. It is His will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive.
I think we want to get a picture real quick. So if y'all come real quick, come back. We have the SGA. Let's give them a big hand, Student Government Association here. Then council, we can take a picture.
Hello, I'm Hunter Howell. I'm the treasurer of Student Council at Burns Middle School.
Hello, everybody. My name is Keelan Millender, and I'm the president of Student Council at Burns Middle School.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Connor Richmond, and I'm the vice president of Student Council.
Hello, everyone. My name is Akira King. I'm secretary of Student Council.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ashley Panetta. Hi, my name is Mackenzie Wilder. I'm a member of Student Council.
Hi, my name is Diana Bell, and I'm a member of Student Council.
All right, if you can step over. Yeah, step back. Take a picture. All right, let's get another hand clap, everybody.
Mr. Penn.
Good morning again. Those young people did an amazing job. I think the words were so powerful. I need you. Especially in this time, we realize that we all need each other to move forward. So thank you so much, Burns Middle School, for coming. Today I have a proclamation. Can Gertrude Lafitte come down? Is she here? Whereas Gertrude Lafitte began her employment with the Mobile County Public Library on January the 8th, 1975, as a temporary clerk at the Virginia Dillard Smith Tomerville branch in District 1. Soon became a permanent clerk on January the 13th, 1975. And whereas on April the 13th, 1981, Gertrude was promoted to library assistant in the audiovisual department. And later she transferred to the Virginia Dillard Smith Tomerville branch on October the 27th, 1992, and was promoted to library association on October the 13th, 2007. After she again transferred to the Parkway branch on August the 1st, 2021. Whereas retirement is a major milestone that marks the ending of one chapter and a start of another, training in long hours at the office for never-ending days of rest and relaxation. And whereas we hope that your retirement life is the best part of your life, this is the time when your hard work and dedication deserve a standing ovation. Congratulations on your retirement. And now, therefore, I, Councilman Corey Penn, District 1, and the members of Mobile City Council hereby proclaim January 23rd, 25 as Gertrude Lafitte Day here in the city of Mobile. And we urge all citizens to join us in celebrating this amazing occasion. 50 years in the city of Mobile. Let's give her a big hand. We have one more surprise. A lot of people don't have this, but you will now have it. We would like to give you the key to the city of Mobile. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you, and thank you so much for all your hard work you had rendered to the city of Mobile.
Mr. President,
Ms. Gregory.
you know, it's great to see in this day and time someone who has stayed on their job with the same company or the same group for 50 years. You are to be commended. And the key to the city is not nearly enough. Thank you so much for what you have done. And we certainly hope that this next chapter in your life with you and your husband and family is everything you need and deserve. So thank you for your service.
Approval of minutes of January 14th.
So moved.
Second. Been properly moved in second. Discussion, and we're going to have to go back to the mayor's announcement after we take up this and everything. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Agenda is adopted.
Communications from Mayor Stimpson.
Good morning. It's good to see everyone. Last week was certainly unprecedented with the amount of snowfall we had. A lot of people building snowmen that had never built one, doing snow angels, sliding down hills on makeshift sleds and so forth. Anyway, while all that was going on, our police department and our fire department and public works department were still fully engaged in the things that they had to do. Truthfully, it's very difficult to plan for a 130-year storm. But we'll be having after-action reports to make sure that some of the things that maybe we didn't do, that we'll be better prepared for the next time. But I do want to commend all of our fire rescue, police department, those individuals specifically because they answered, during the storm, they answered over 580, during that period, 580 calls for service. One thing we do know is Mobilians still don't know how to drive in ice. And I don't think they'll ever learn to drive in ice because it's such a rare occurrence. At least let us hope it is a rare occurrence. At this time, I would like to call on Chief Randy Jackson, who has recently made 2 promotions, Major Melvin Jones and Captain Matthew Garrett. He is promoting them to the rank of Deputy Chief. And so, Chief, if you would make those introductions.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor, staff, council. Thank you for having us here. As the mayor said, the 2 promotions to Deputy Chief, I'd like to introduce you and congratulate you to Deputy Chief of Operations, Melvin Jones, 24-year decorated Mobile Police Department veteran. He holds a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. Prior to coming to MPD, he served our country as a United States Marine for 8 years. Former SWAT member, Special Operations Commander. Most recently, he was the Major of Field Operations, which is Precincts 1, 3, Central, and Mounted. And he is the proud father of 2 daughters. Secondly, Chief of Operations, Matthew Garrett, a 28-year decorated veteran of the Mobile Police Department, holds a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. He has commanded in field operations, criminal investigations, and internal affairs. Most recently served as the commander of the Central Precinct, where he worked closely with the Downtown Alliance, and in 2023 was honored with their Downtown Alliance Inspiration Award. He is a graduate of the FBI National Academy, a graduate of the DEA Drug Unit Commanders Academy, and a graduate of Leadership of Mobile. He is a proud father of a son and a daughter, and just in 2024 welcomed his first grandchild. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, gentlemen. At this time, I'd like to read a proclamation about National Mentoring Month. I'm going to ask Amy Risser, Pillar Bell, Maria Roberts, and Michael to please come to the podium. Michael Kentz, say that right, Michael? The proclamation reads, whereas National Mentoring Month underscores the importance of mentors to help young people develop confidence, achieve their goals, and prepare for a bright and successful future, and whereas mentoring is an effective strategy for addressing community challenges by empowering youth and fostering positive relationships that lead to personal and academic success, and whereas the City of Mobile acknowledges and supports the work of local organizations such as Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Central Gulf Coast that foster meaningful mentorship opportunities and inspire community engagements, And whereas by declaring January as National Mentoring Month in Mobile, we will help raise awareness of the need for volunteer mentors and encourage citizens to invest in the future of our city by supporting and participating in mentorship programs. Now, therefore, I, William S. Stimson, the 108th Mayor of the City of Mobile, do hereby officially proclaim the month of January 2025 as National Mentoring Month in the City of Mobile. Thank you.
To say thank you. I'm so excited. You guys I love what we do at Big Brothers Big Sisters, but more importantly, I love who all we get to work with. And as I was just sitting in the audience, I'm like, oh, everybody's so good. And I hope just through Big Brothers Big Sisters, we do our part to create One Mobile. From the choir to your comments, that's what we do. I wanted to point out Michael. Come here, Michael. He's with Wilkins Miller. He started as a big nearly a decade ago to his little brother Jacob, who's at school, so he couldn't be here today. And Pilar, his match specialist. We bring people together who would otherwise never know each other from every corner of our community into these long-term one-on-one friendships. And they're professionally supported by amazing team members like Pilar and Alicia when she was with us. And it changes everybody's lives. And I think it really does contribute to the idea that we are one Mobile, that when you live in this zip code, but you know someone and love them who lives in this zip code, when you love each other, you start caring about what happens in every zip code. And I think that that's really special and unique to the one-on-one mentoring relationships that we make. So I'm super excited. Judge Bivens could not be here today, but Michael Kenson Jacob is our big and little brother of the year for our agency. And Judge Sonia Bivens, and her little sister Tamaya are our big and little sister of the year for our agency. So I hope you have the opportunity to hear and see their stories in the coming months as we celebrate them, because they represent thousands of other stories. So thank you all for your support of what we do. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Amy.
Thank you.
That concludes my remarks, Mr. President.
Madam Clerk.
Monthly finance report.
Good morning, Mayor, Mr. President, members of the council. I have before you the December 2024 or the January 2025 general fund budget report. The second page in front of you, if you flip over to that page, denotes the biggest change that you've seen for your budget reports in the past. You've typically heard the term unassigned fund balance as we walked through the year and did our financial reports. As you're aware, we recently adopted a general fund reserve that removes some of those funds from unassigned fund balance and put them specifically in a reserve fund. So what you won't see on this report is the term unassigned fund balance going forward. You'll see the general fund operating balance. Where that's important is on the bottom right-hand page, or the bottom right-hand corner of page number 1. You'll see a total fund balance. That used to be the unassigned fund balance. That's now just the total fund balance. $127,751,121 for the month ended in December. Of that, the reserve fund is $58,626,210. That will remain unchanged through the year. And our general fund operating balance is $69,124,911. Again, the purpose of that is to remove the reserve fund from the unassigned fund balance. We can clearly identify what our operating fund balance is for the general fund. That's the biggest change that we have financially to the reporting part of the operations. On the last page of this document, just on the last line, the bottom line, you'll see that the city's net income for the month was $1,253,691. And for the fiscal year, the first 90 days of the year, we have a positive net revenue of $5,019,999. So the financial report for January, October through December, is a healthy report to report to you today. We will also be submitting to you capital reports as well, so you'll understand where we are on the capital. typically our capital revenues are going to be less than our capital expenditures simply because of the accumulation of cash during the capital programs. I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have on the operating report. And lastly, we had a conversation in the pre-meeting about the action that the president took yesterday regarding the pause of federal funds. We do have a directive from the OMB, Office of Management and Budget, that states that all federal grant programs will cease operations at 5 p.m. Eastern Time today, 4 p.m. Central. That temporary pause will take place through February 10, where there will be a comprehensive review of all of those programs from the President's office. Once they make that review, they will then send additional guidance to us for what programs are available to be used after February 10th, is our understanding. I wish we had better information on that. We don't know what the impact is, other than we do expect it to be temporary, and we can give you updates on that as soon as we get more clarification from the federal government.
Mr. President.
Mr. Days.
I just, Scott, I'd just like to commend you on this, on the revisions you've done to the monthly financial report.
Yes, sir.
I think they're very informative and make clear what has a tendency to be unclear. And so thank you very much.
Yes, sir. And we'll be enhancing those each month as we go forward.
Mr. President.
Yeah, Mr.
I too, Councilmember Davis took the words out of my mouth. I love this format. Thank you for doing this. It's very insightful. I know we said going back to the government programs or the federal programs. Is there a way to ballpark the exposure that we have when it kind of comes to that, or is that we don't know kind of thing?
We don't know. There is some language in this document. I can email it out. There is some language in there that states if they have legal obligations, if there's a legal challenge to some distributions that need to be made, that they can move forward with those. My suspicion is that's what they will do between now and February 10. And then once they determine what those legal exposures or obligations are, if there are dollars that they would have been encumbered or required to send, then we'll see those flow back out on or after February 11.
But to our knowledge too, I mean, this doesn't really impact, we have reserves for a good reason.
Yep.
We're in a good financial position.
Sure.
So this really doesn't impact the day-to-day operations of the city per se.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Mr. President.
Yeah, Mr. Penn.
Again, Scott, I want to join my colleagues. Thank you so much for giving this general fund balance documentation for us so we can see it clear. Regarding the federal funds pause, I know you said you're going to get some more information. Could be a part of that, can you tell us when you do share that information, what we're being affected, like how much money, what programs in the city will be affected if during this pause?
Certainly. What we've done today is Brian Eagle in the grants department, she and I communicated early this morning. We have meetings scheduled for this Thursday afternoon to identify what all those projects will be. We're also going to look at any operational or staffing concerns that maybe if this were to be extended for some period of time, and try to have you those answers as well.
Because salaries could be included in those grants.
If they're funded by federal funds. Again, I wouldn't want to sound the alarm on that. We don't know what that is, but we're just doing a comprehensive review so we can answer any of those questions should this thing extend for any period of time.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
I get two questions with respect to the federal pause. First question is there any chance that we would have to send back to the federal government any funds that we have already received?
We don't think so. As of reading this, there's no language in this directive that states there will be a reimbursement of any funds. It simply states there will be a pause for the distribution of funds going forward.
And the second question is, are we, you spoke of the salaries, are we under any obligation, have we incurred any obligation to spend money based on our anticipation of receiving federal funds that are now being paused?
I don't believe so at this time. Obviously, the next 10 to 12 days will give us some information on that. Right now, the function of our grant programs that we have will be unaffected other than be able to submit for additional for additional funds or reimbursements. Outside of that, we don't think anything operationally from what we have in place today will be affected.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yes, sir, Mr. President.
Mr. Reynolds.
I too want to thank Scott for putting this together. This is what we've been needing. I appreciate you putting it together. Just regarding expense for forestry, we're now at month 4 of the fiscal year. and this reflects through the first 3 months, we're $800,000 under budget, what we should have spent. We're running out of time on trees and that sort of thing. I'd like to see us try to, ramp up those activities best we can. I know we brought on 2 folks to help assist in, arborist sort of capacity. So I wanted to bring that to everyone's attention.
And I think some of that is scheduling of invoicing. I know that work's been taking place. This would be not reflective of anything that hasn't been encumbered. So that work is being done, and if there are invoices that come in, I suspect that number will change, and you'll see that lean towards spend dollars.
Thank you so much, Mr. Scott.
Yes, sir.
Madam Clerk,
Adoption of the agenda.
we already adopted.
Oh, no, we didn't. I thought we did approval of minutes. Approval of minutes from January 14th.
Second.
Been properly moved and second in discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Minutes approved. Next we go. We did, we already approved.
Appeals. We have requests for waive the noise ordinance on January 31st in Cathedral Square, March the 22nd on Washington Square, and February 1st on Dolphin Street.
So moved. Properly moved and second in discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Appeal passes.
Public hearings. Today is the public hearing to declare the structure at 325 East I-65 Service Road South a public nuisance and order it demolished and secured.
This opened up the public hearing for this particular said item. Is anyone present that would like to address the council on this item? If not, this particular public hearing is closed.
Today is the public hearing to fix the cost of demolition of structures at 2257 Clinton Street, 1312 Jesse Street, 1306 Congress Street, 727 Florida Street Extension, 550 Williams Street, 1160 Arlington Street, 2154 Grove Court, 3154 Riverside Drive, 7217 3rd Street, 7151 13th Street.
This opened up the public hearing for these particular said items. Is anyone present that would like to address the council on these items? If so, you might come down by stating your name.
Dan Griffin, 550 William Street. I was sent a notice there, and I thought when the contractor was doing the job, he told me he bid $2,600 on that property, and I just got a notice for $32. So.
Yeah.
Lon Lindquist was the contractor. Yes, sir.
David Dockenbaugh, Director of Municipal Enforcement. The costs that we have here on the agenda are our actual costs. We did competitive bids, and the lowest qualified bidder was selected. They did the work. We inspected it. The house meets our conditions. These are the costs plus our $200 administrative fee added on top of it. And anything else that he's saying here, I don't have records of.
Okay. Yeah, the gentleman right here, he can just go over everything with you all to show you exactly what was spent and everything there.
Okay.
So if you can talk to Mr. Dockenbach right after this meeting, that'd be great.
Can I get pay it with a credit card? Because I already tried to talk to him before.
He'll talk to you.
He'll talk to him.
Yes.
Yeah. I can do that.
Yes,
Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Deborah Craig, and I'm speaking on behalf of 1306 Congress Street.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm being charged $3,000 for y'all tearing it down, and I want to know why.
Say it one more time in the microphone.
I'm being charged $3,000
Yes, ma'am.
for it being not torn down, but cleaned up after it burned down. The property was cleaned up by the city, I believe, and I'm being charged $3,000.
Mr. Dr. Barr, could you, was the property cleaned or was it torn down, or that's 1306 Congress Street?
How you doing?
And again, whatever was left of the structure, we did demolish. We cleaned the site clear, and at this point, it's been inspected. All the debris has gone off the site. This is the cost that we have that we need to fix.
Ma'am, the gentleman right here, he can explain to you with all the details of the cost and everything, and what did he come up with and everything. If you can talk to Mr. Dockerbaugh right outside the doors there.
All right.
All right, thank you so much for coming down. Is there anyone else that would like to address the council on these particular said items?
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. Reggie Hill is my name. This probably could fit with any of these, but just for the specifics as being requested, we can just say the property at 550 Williams Street. And excuse me, the last time that we met here, this section of the meeting was removed from the live stream. So I just wanted to make sure that that conversation was put back on the record. There was some assertion from this body that there were attempts to say about people's properties being seized, and that was not the case as well. I want to know whether or not these properties are being
Mr. President,
reviewed.
he's not talking about 550 William Street.
I am talking about 550 William Street because we don't know if this property has been reviewed or assessed to be a part of the new revitalization pool. And so we don't have any answer on that. That needs to be addressed during this portion of the meeting. And I think anyone over the rules would agree with that. So, I mean, this is just something very simple. We know that we put in quite a bit of money towards this revitalization project in the city. And I think that maybe if we're assessing these properties before they get to the extent where they become nuisance abatements or potentially being demolished, we probably could save that revenue. So I'm going to ask that question again for the record, just to keep putting it in place and maybe to excuse me, to be addressed.
Mr. President, the question is, we are fixing costs on the demolition of 550 William Street. Anything other than that, he's not entitled to speak about.
Mr. Hirsch, please just stick to that. And this is not a question and answer period.
Mr. Smile, I think that goes directly to fixing the cost about it, because we need to be proactive in this so we don't have citizens continuously coming down, not knowing about what's going on with the request of the resources.
You can ask Mr. Dockerbaugh, and he can explain everything to you.
Okay, thank you all so much.
Is there anyone else that would like to address the council on these particular said items? If not, these public hearings are closed.
Presentation of petitions and other communications to the council. Derek Boulware.
Before Mr. Morton come down, I just want to remind all the speakers that there would be no personal attack to any council members. And if so, even by calling out numbers, I would ask you to, to cease or go ahead and take your seats, and also to maintain decorum. That's including Howard.
Good afternoon, Council President, City Council, Mayor. My name is Derek Boulware. I'm the CEO of Housing First, Inc., 279 North Washington, Mobile. I'm here today to just inform you of the events of what Housing First and our community is taking part in. It's called Point in Time Count. It's the annual point in time count, which means that we go out and we survey individuals that are living homeless in Mobile and Baldwin County. Housing First is one of 450 agencies around America that have been tasked by the federal government with retrieving this information, collecting the data, producing the reports, and submitting it back to HUD. We do this every year, and we couldn't do it without the support of the community that get involved with us and go out on a grid system so that we can, on this one day, count as many individuals and collect as much usable data as we possibly can. I was scheduled to be here last week, but unfortunately with the snow, it's become this week. One other point that was because of the snow last week, we were supposed to have the annual Project Homeless Connect. And unfortunately, we were not able to do that, so it's been rescheduled for May the 15th. As you know, that's a one-day event where we bring in the community and those that are experiencing homeless, provide those kind of resources they need, and give them a helping hand. So I want to thank this council. I've had a great honor of meeting with every one of you. Councilman Daves, we're going to hate that you're retiring from the council, but you've treated us with the utmost respect and put the importance on what we try to do in addressing homelessness, and we thank you for that, as we do each one of you. And so with that, and I can't fail to thank Councilman Woods and the kind of outpouring of support. Again, this isn't done by Housing First alone. This is a community effort. It has been for almost 30 years now in Mobile. And the results are that less people are living homeless on the streets of Mobile. More people are having a shot at the American dream of being productive members of our society. So again, thank you for your support. And May the 15th, I'd invite you to come out to the grounds. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Kervin Lane.
Greetings to the Mobile City Council members and their staff, as well as the mayor and his staff. I'm Kervin Lang, and I reside at North Ann Street, District 2, in the National Historic District, the campground. I'm standing before you all this morning concerning some past Mardi Gras safety concerns that have occurred on Lundi Gras Monday on Route D during the MLK Business and Civic, the MLK Monday Mystic, and the Northside Merchants Organization Parade, which, by the way, are the largest attended parade on Lundi Gras Monday. Those concerns were emailed to appropriate city personnel on December the 5th, 2024, with the request to develop a plan to rectify the problem. See something, say something so that we all can do something. Since I have not received a reply regarding these concerns, nor have they been addressed publicly in the city council meeting, I feel it's only befitting that I make all city council members, as well as the mayor of Mobile, aware of these Mardi Gras public safety issues, especially in light of the recent incidents that have occurred in New Orleans and the finger pointing that followed afterward. The following is a brief list of Mardi Gras concerns that were emailed. Also, I have a picture for all of you to view. As they say, a picture are worth 1,000 words. Number one, law enforcement officers present on MLK Avenue is much smaller than those assigned on Government Street. The largest parade on that Monday is on Route D. Number two, Mardi Gras barricade rules seem to be non-existent and not enforced on MLK Avenue like they are on Government Street. Number three, first responder vehicles have limited access to travel on Secondary Street due to double and triple parked cars 1 block off the parade route. And number four, in effect, a traffic plan in place after the conclusion of parade, causing extremely long traffic delays and increased road rage. So in closing, I have 3 questions that I would like for the city council to look into. Number one, have additional financial and personnel resources been allocated to address these safety concerns at the largest attended parade on Lundi Gras Monday? Number two, have the City of Mobile parade and safety procedure been reviewed and upgraded to include Route D on Monday? And number three, have the 5-point intersection on Spring Hill Avenue and North Ann Street been included in the Spring Hill Avenue traffic signal upgrades? In closing, it is better to look ahead and prepare than to look back and regret. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lane, for coming down. I'm going to ask the Public Safety Director, if you can pretty much, can talk about his concerns and everything.
We'll let Lieutenant Engel discuss that particular corner that was brought up in pre-council. At this point, we have enhanced security procedures for all the parades. However, we're not going to make those public.
Good morning. I don't know where to start. I guess, first of all, let me just clarify that the the resources we dedicate to this particular route is no different than the resources that we dedicate on any of the other parade routes. And that includes personnel, crowd control devices, things such as that. All these things are designed for voluntary compliance to keep the route clear, safe, so nobody gets caught up in any of the floats. We don't want any kind of injury, things like that. And it makes the parade run smoother. He has issues. I mean, there are some issues up there when it comes to compliance with that type of situation. And, the only other thing would be to dedicate more resources and start taking law enforcement action, take enforcement action. And we always were trying to do enough enforcement action, enough presence to get people to voluntarily comply so that we can maintain the festive nature of Mardi Gras and without going in there real heavy-handed and trying to clear things out. But it is an issue, and it is a safety issue, something we've been dealing with for years, and it's just a matter of, I guess the captain and I will have to come up with a game plan, present it to the chief and the public safety director, and see if it's something that you guys want to go with. So.
Councilor Carroll.
Thank you, Mr. President. I keep saying Coach, I'm sorry. Mr. Lane Kirvin, thanks for the email. I sent it out several months ago in hope for a response. Lieutenant Engel, I think what he's talking about is the disregard of individuals to, one, a lot of the safety apparatus that we have in place, where they just totally ignore it, jump it, and get out into the middle of the street, impairing the progress of the parade and also putting themselves in danger. Is there a way to enforce that without the appearance that we're trying to do more than what we would if we were on Government Street, and making sure that the revelers of the parade remain behind the barricades? I rode up and down the street after talking to Ms. Lane several times, and I realized that these barricades, when they're in place, they're actually where they would normally be, but it forces all the revelers to be on private property up and down the avenue, and then they push those barricades out to the street a lot of times. We kind of need to find a way to address that. Secondly, is when I started riding back on Calhoun, Clay, and all the back streets back there, I realized that those streets are a little bit older and somewhat narrower. So when people are parking back there and double parking, it's impossible to even get a public. If we had to run a fire truck back there, we wouldn't be able to do it. So the question would be is if we could put the no parking signs on those streets like we do in the downtown neighborhoods 2 hours before and after parade, so that they don't park and impede the traffic back there so people can get in and out. And the other thing is that I know from the past that a lot of times there are involuntary roadblocks with people setting up and having barbecues in the middle of the street a lot during parade times in that area. It may impede traffic flow after the parades. Sometimes it takes 2 hours to get from the bottom back up to just Spring Hill Avenue or to even Congress Street sometimes. So I think some way of one way in, one way out, like we do at major events, to try to help that is maybe what he's asking. And if we could come up with some type of plan to do that. And I know you guys go above and beyond a lot of times, but I have to be clear when I say this too, because a lot of times the perception of enforcement in certain neighborhoods comes across a whole lot different than in other places. And I don't want us to be looked upon as, over enforcing in one neighborhood more than we would in the other. So whatever we need to do, it needs to be equal and fair and equitable across the board in all neighborhoods, but we need to make sure we take care of the safety in this one also at the same time. So if you could get us something that, one, like I said before, I could send out to the neighborhood in writing so that everybody over there knows what to expect, and two, where I can post it either on my Facebook page or on my website so that everybody knows what the enforcement plan is going to look like.
First of all, I could not agree with you more. I mean, we do try to make sure that what we apply is applied uniformly, evenly across the board. The parade route, that's something that the community has asked for. That's something that the participating parading association have asked for. We didn't pick the route. There are some tight areas. There is some areas where the barricades, when they do get put in place, it does restrict some of the crowd, the revelers, to be in private property areas. There's not a whole lot we can do about that. If we're going to use the barricades, we need to use the barricades. We do try to maintain safety routes to get emergency vehicles in and out of that area, and we keep those posted. But if we start posting all of the streets, then we're going to have an issue of where do we let them park. So I do know that the traffic control is a major issue because the volume of cars is going into that small area, and it's just something that it's going to have a major hurdle to try and defeat that, and where we can make things a little smoother. We are trying to make some adjustments on the parade times to allow the personnel that are assigned to that particular parade to stay in there longer, to help try and clear some of the vehicle traffic out before they move to their other assignment for the nighttime parade. You kind of touched on it as far as putting information out to your Facebook. I think the biggest thing and probably the best solution now is for community involvement. We need voluntary compliance, and I think asking the community to self-regulate is the most efficient way to try to get this problem rectified, at least make it a lot better. And if we can take some mild enforcement action on the ones that are not compliant at that point, but the volume of enforcement it would take to get people in compliance that obviously are not going to be in compliance, or they would be already, is going to be, it's an overwhelming task. It's something that it's going to stand out, and it's going to be more so than anything we've done in any other parade routes. And when you're talking about this route, you might as well go ahead and include the Trinity Gardens parade in that as well, because Route D is an issue, but it's a fraction of the issue that we deal with in the Trinity Gardens. And we try to suggest moving that parade out of that community because they've obviously outgrown that community. And we've done tabletop exercises, things of that nature, to try to identify problems and responding to house fires and medical calls and things like that, and try to deal with them before they become a major issue. And you're dealing with a lot of older houses in the communities, and if a fire breaks out, they're built real close to each other, and by the time we get medical and fire personnel in there, it's likely that the houses are going to spread to other adjoining structures. And medical call, same situation, trying to get an ambulance in there when you've got roads that are gridlocked with parked vehicles that the driver is just walked off and they're enjoying the parade or wherever they're at. So Route D is an issue as well, but Trinity Gardens is something that we're going to talk about. Route D, we need to address the Trinity Gardens issue too. But I think the biggest thing is to try to make things smoother and less heavy-handed, especially considering it is a Mardi Gras parade, and we're trying to maintain the spirit of Mardi Gras is to try to get community involvement in it and try to get self-compliance and just let them regulate themselves as much as possible.
Mr. President?
Hold on.
Okay.
Carol.
Yeah. First, let me thank you for the response. And then secondly, it wouldn't hurt to have a brief meeting with the community and hear especially their major concerns, and see if there's some things that we can do to help alleviate the real big issues, to at least get a place to start from to where we can start making it better. The same way we did with Church Street East when we met with them about how tight the streets were and double parking and no one be able to get in and out. I can schedule that meeting with those community leaders and possibly do it at Stewart Memorial before Mardi Gras starts. And let's try to work our way through it the same way we did with Church Street East and come up with some amicable ways to help get them started with a safe parading area for their community, so the people that actually live there can enjoy living there if they're not going to go to a parade, or if they're going to go to a parade and be able to get in and out and also be safe at the same time. And we can hear their concerns and and implement some of the issues that they're having and get started in making it a little bit safer than what they now see.
Ken.
Thank you, President Small, and thank you, Lieutenant Angle, for coming down. I know you shared, I mentioned about one of the greatest parades in the city of Mobile, and that's in the Trinity Gardens community, Trinity Gardens Legacy Parade. And I understand your concerns. Of course, I just want to let everyone know we keep it in Trinity Garden. We want to keep it in the Trinity Garden community. That's the heart of the community, but at the same time, I think we need to try to make it safe as possible. And so I join in with my colleague and say, let's meet with our community organization groups. And I think another way to promote some safety, because you asking about how we can get the community involved, and doing some PSAs, doing some videos talking about the challenges and issues and what effects could take place if we don't put these measures in place. And I can post it on my social media. We can get the community organizations to do the same thing too. So with the administration assistance, I would love to do some PSAs, and I think that can also help as well. But it's definitely vital to make sure that everyone is having fun, but they're doing it. Make sure safety is important. And so if you want to set some meetings up, I'm willing to do that as well. Thank you so much for your service.
Thank you so much, Lieutenant.
Reggie Hill.
Thank you again, Madam City Clerk. To the citizens, stakeholders, Mobile, greetings. Reggie Hill is my name. And as you all are leaving out, I'd like to thank the Burns students for sharing some time with us this morning. I'm a musician, and I was a student council president at Callaway Smith Middle School, so y'all share a special place and keep being active. Let's begin with these matters that were signed up to address. First, 2-62 of the Mobile City Code. I'd like to remind this body that when you are conducting city business with city money, it is imperative that the citizens are part of the conversation, and particularly in this formal setting. And as each of us would know, that the First Amendment to the United States Constitution grants us the right to petition our government. So it's necessary that we have this time allotted for the members of the public to come in and give their input about how we believe these resources should be dispersed and spent. Because again, these are not resources coming out of your pockets directly. These are resources of the taxpayer dollars. As well with this 2-62, we know that this body creates, or excuse me, rather they take abbreviated minutes. I think it would be vital for when citizens come down and ask pertinent questions that those be added to the minutes as well. And then there was an ordinance suggestion proposed that when these things are done formally, there need to be written responses from the respective members or departments when it pertains to what the citizens want to see done. That's one thing I do miss about Mr. Manzi, where we had our differences and our dialogue back and forth. He would always pin that to the respective department to say, hey, we need at least something in writing. Now, did that always come forth? Maybe not. We see that with Mr. Lane, where something was sent over a month ago and hasn't been responsive. But at least that was the effort that was made from this dais, and we can reshape that in 2-62. Let's move on to the public safety piece of it. I want to emphasize this idea that this has nothing to do with ethnicity. Just yesterday, where a African-American judge wanted to, I would say, charge a citizen for something that was unlawful, we saw where a white judge dismissed this. Those of you who are familiar with this, since 2018, I have come down here and spoke about an illegal citation that was given. Well, just yesterday it was dismissed and ordered that the city repay that money. So I'm saying as well to say, I still believe in justice. And it's the reason why we have to be active down here. Many people say, hey, you should have gave up on that on day one. But yet it took 7 calendar years, and here we are. So let's stop taking this stuff personal and realize this is about the business of Mobile. I know that time was not allotted, but I'm going to do my best to put in the Civic Center, the budget, and this abuse of power into the time that remains. This morning, we further proved that we do not have a completed site plan, nor do we know where we're going to get the money. That's the whole reason why this shouldn't be done in the first place. But this primary question, I'm going to have to come back. We're saying that we're going to spend $73 million for a management group. So by the city code, somebody please correct me if I'm wrong, that means we dissolve the Civic Center board. So not only are you taking this away from the public with the money, now you're going to take the citizens' input in that as well. That's what abuse of power is, y'all. So please let us get some understanding of it. I appreciate any question and answers. Thank you for yielding the floor.
Mr. President, Council.
Mr. President, we mentioned this at the pre-council meeting, but if there's anyone in the city of Mobile that feels that any person on the city council or the mayor or anyone else is abusing their powers, has committed a criminal act, you need to go across the hall to the district attorney and report it to them. I urge you to do that. I urge you to do that. It's your citizen. It's your duty as a citizen. If not, if you're not able to do that, then don't come down here and use a broad term like abuse.
Mr. President, it's no secret that at pre-council I made the statement this morning that abuse of power is broad. I have asked for, if needed, a committee meeting and rule change. If it cannot be stated what the abuse is on the application to speak, then the applicant should not be allowed to speak if there's not something specific and truly legal as abuse of power. Again, I am going to request that the Rules Committee meet, and if there needs to be a rule change, then we make it. Because this is a place to do business. This is not a place to make accusations. And to bring forward a legal accusation against a sitting, correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Pop, but a legal accusation against a sitting public official, whether it be direct or indirect, is that also considered verbal assault or assault? Am I not correct?
Any threat is considered an assault.
And as far as the rule change, we just being very lenient to people that has been coming down here speaking, but we just need to just tighten up on our rules. That's what it is. Madam Clerk.
Mr. President, City Council, and to the General Public Mayor, just for clarification, the minutes of the council meetings are not abbreviated. The council meeting minutes are of actions taken by the council.
Thank you.
Sabrina Mass regarding Resolution 01107.
Sabrina Mass. I'm here to speak on 01-107 in regards to the ankle monitor. And just for the record, it's no slight to Sheriff Birch, because I respect him, nor Chief Barber, Chief of Staff. However, what I would say, first of all, is that I believe the council and the administration and the attorneys should look at the case Tory Dale Grady versus the state of North Carolina in regards to these ankle monitors. And upon doing my own research, there are many cases that have been resolved in the Supreme Court that have to deal with these ankle monitors. Now, I will say this. I've known Mr. Woods for several years, a very, very respectful man that does own the Pegasus. He's not only respected in the community, he's respected in the courts with the judges. He's not only respected to those people, he's also respected with the people that he's putting these monitors on. I've seen him in several events in the city of Mobile where he has taken some of these people that have these ankle monitors to these events so they can see their children, their grandchildren. He's personally taken them and monitored them with the ankle monitors on and treated them with respect. And I've seen them reciprocate the caring and compassion back to him. So that's important as a citizen to see that. Yes, they're going to be treated as the court system says they will be treated for their crimes, but they still are humans. Now, the problem I'm having is if you have read or you've seen the article, there's a federal possible injunction and lawsuit that's about to be filed toward these ankle monitors due to these Constitution violations of the Fourth Amendment. And another issue, I'm trying to figure out why we have to go out of the state to another state instead of giving this opportunity to Pegasus. He's already doing it within the court systems, and it would cost less money. He's already said and done. Why not give him the opportunity to go ahead and carry it out and save the city and the citizens money? We all know Mr. Woods. Mr. Woods is sitting right in the audience, right there. Everybody knows Mr. Woods, I presume. So as a citizen, we're talking about giving opportunities to our local citizens and their businesses. We're talking about saving money. And why are we taking it to another state that you're not even sure if their monitoring systems will even work correctly when he has a proven system? So I stand here to say, consider his company. He's established, he's very well known, he's respected in this city, and also look at the Constitution and the cases that have already been one in the United States that deal with these ankle monitors. We don't want to go into another lawsuit. That's for sure. Thank you.
Miss Mass, I'm not sure what you're asking or what you're stating. What are you asking?
I'm asking that, yes, sir, Counsel, I'm asking that Mr. Woods, that he gets the contract for the ankle monitors. The ankle monitoring, they're talking about getting some business out of Louisiana. He's already doing the ankle monitors. He's been doing that for some years. So the city is trying to give, the county and the city are trying to give $1.6 million to the sheriff's department. And I'm saying he's established. Let him continue.
So you're asking that the contract stay local?
Yes, sir. Definitely, I'm asking that. Yes, sir. He's established. He's very well known. He has a great relationship with the judges. He stays in compliance. His system is, according to the reviews from the judges and even the DA, it's a great company. Why isn't he given the opportunity to carry forth and stay here? Give him the opportunity.
It's my understanding that the council only approves the contract after being submitted to the council and approved by the administration. The administration, I'm assuming, has gone through the proper process to award the contract.
They didn't do any bids. Oh, I'm sorry.
This was a professional services contract, correct?
It is not. The privatization of the ankle monitor is what's in question, and so it's being moved over to the sheriff's department. We're only participating by intergovernmental agreement to the financing or the cost of the program to get it started up, and then the recurring cost of monitoring these ankle monitors.
Right, but I asked that question to get this answer. We're not the ones that are issuing the contract. The sheriff's office is. We're just participating financially. That's the answer I wanted you guys the public to hear in this case.
That's correct.
So the actual person or people that we need to be talking to or individuals need to be talking to is the sheriff's office in the county.
That is correct. And as far as the constitutionality of ankle monitoring, again, we're only participating financially, so that's a county question.
All right, thank you, Ms. Mass. Madam Clerk.
Representative Margie Wilcox regarding 50-063.
Good afternoon, Margie Wilcox, 2131 Sheffield Court, Mobile. I'm in Councilman Ben Reynolds' district. I just wanted to come down here and show gratitude to you, the council, and the administration, and the mayor's office for the consideration of removing the hearing aid tax. So thank y'all so much.
Mr. President,
Vice President.
I was going to recognize the representative anyway, and I knew that she was here to speak about the resolution that is coming up. Thank you for being here, Representative Wilcox. We appreciate it, and I think you will have full support on this measure today.
Thank you. I wanted to sign up because I wanted to follow your procedures. I wasn't sure what was proper, so I signed up just in case, and thank you in advance.
Thank you for following our procedures.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk.
Mr. President,
Mr. Mayor.
Representative Wilcox, good luck over the next 2 months. We appreciate what you're doing to represent us. Thank you.
Ordinance is held over. 64001. Consider rezoning property located at 5301 Moffett Road from B2 to
I'm
B2.
going to ask for the C's to talk on that second row, please. Madam Clerk.
64001. Consider rezoning property located at 5301 Moffett Road from B2 to B3.
Move to lay over for 2 weeks.
Second. Been properly moved in second in the discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item laid over for 2 weeks.
64002. Consider the modification of a previously approved planned unit development for property located at 6301 Greenlight Road.
So moved.
Second. Properly moved in second in discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item pass.
Consent resolutions held over 40. 1118, declare the structure at 4350 Moffett Road a public nuisance and order it demolished and secured.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second in discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item pass.
58048, authorize removal of weeds, Group 1662.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second in discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item pass.
Resolutions held over. Are there any objections to these? If not, I'll read them all together.
Go ahead.
Okay. 01057, authorize agreement with AlDOT for traffic management and signal operations for traffic signals in the Mobile MPO urban area. 08058, approved purchase order to Calio 2009 for annual renewal of investigation software. 21060, authorized contract with Pot of Gold Rentals for Mardi Gras portable toilets. 25061, accept an easement for recreational purpose for segment 2 of the 3 Mile Creek Greenway Trail project. 47062, waive fee for vacation of an alley adjacent to property located at Dolphin Heights and Upham Street. 50063, exempt all proceeds from the sales and use of hearing instruments from the city's sales and use tax in conformity with Alabama Code Section 43-23-4A55. 60064, authorized settlement agreement and release of claims.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second in discussion.
Yes, sir, Mr. President.
Vice President.
On 25-061, where we are accepting an easement for segment 2 on 3 Mile Creek. This is a continuation of the Greenway Trail on the western side of the interstate. This is a new portion of work that we will be getting to hopefully sooner rather than later. But it is great to see this moving forward. In the meantime, segment 1, work is underway on that portion of the trail. A lot of equipment is there working on the trail itself. And then once that part is finished, then we will go to the parking lot and make improvements there as well as some new lighting. So it's really great to see that happening. And I really want to thank the mayor and Jen Green in particular and Carlene, everybody for their work in making this happen and for getting the funding to get this second portion of the trail underway. So thank you.
Any other discussion?
Yes, sir, Mr. President.
Mr. Reynolds.
I too want to say thank you to Representative Wilcox of House 104 for her persistence and taking care of the ordinary citizen, with matters like this, just common sense things that help us in our day-to-day lives. She's been a champion of that for all walks of life, and I want to say thank you for doing that. And we look forward to your representation in this upcoming term doing this very same thing. So thank you, Representative.
Mr. President.
Vice President.
I've already mentioned that to Representative Wilcox, and what is really interesting now is seeing that some of your colleagues are following suit with similar bills. So thank you for being the trailblazer.
Mr. President.
Mr. Penn.
I want to join in with my colleagues, Representative Wilcox. Thank you so much for being that trailblazer. And this is what it's about, finding ways that we can support our constituents. So thank you so much.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item pass.
Ordinance is being introduced for the first time, 65003 through 34004.
Per council rules, these will lay over for 1 week.
Consent resolutions being introduced, 31068 through 37106.
Move to waive the rules for immediate consideration of these resolutions as read.
Second. Properly moved and second in discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Madam Clerk.
31068, authorize the mayor to apply, accept, and receive a grant from the U.S. Department of Transportation in support of the Project the Protect Grant Program. 40069, declare the structure at 325 East I-65 Service Road, south of public nuisance, and order it demolished and secured. 40070 through 40079 are fixing the cost of demolition of structures at 2257 Clinton Street, 1312 Jesse Street, 1306 Congress Street, 727 Florida Street Extension, 550 William Street, 1160 Arlington Street, 2154 Grove Court, 3154 Riverside Drive, 7217 3rd Street, 7151 13th Street, 60, 080, 081, and 082 are approving award of special bonus to the firefighter of the month, the officer of the month, and administrative services employee of the month. 37106, recommend approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a restaurant retail liquor license to Grand Bistro on St. Michael Street.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes.
Mr. President, I'm going to have to be excused to my presence is at the Senior Bowl practice. I don't know what position they want me to play, but I'll be at the Senior Bowl.
Thank you.
Mr. President, before the mayor leaves, I heard you were quite the track star in your day. Didn't know you played wide receiver now.
CIP resolutions being introduced 08083 through 21084.
By council rules, these will lay over for 1 week.
Resolutions being introduced 01085 through 01107.
Move to waive the rules for immediate consideration of resolutions 01-085, 08-088, and 08-090, with the rest being laid over for 1 week.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Madam Clerk?
01085, authorize agreement with CSX Transportation for surface and signals at Shipyard Road. 08088, approved purchase order to Civic Plus for annual subscription of agenda management software. 08090, approved purchase order to Alberta Farmers Co-op for fence panels for MPD mounted unit.
So moved.
Second. Properly moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes.
Call for public hearings, 41104, call for public hearing to consider vacation of a city right-of-way located on the west side of Norwood Drive, just north of Medical Park Drive, scheduled March 5th, District 6, 41105. Call for public hearing to determine if the Mobile Tourism Improvement District should be continued, modified, or terminated, scheduled February 4th, District 2.
So moved.
Second. Properly moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Public hearings called.
Announcements.
District 4, Councilman Reynolds. District 1, Councilman Penn.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to give a big congratulations to Bryce Huff and Marlon Sanders. Bryce Huff was a proud graduate of St. Paul, but his family is from the Tomerville community in District 1. He is the defensive end for the Philadelphia Eagles, and they are headed to the Super Bowl. So we want to just thank you to everything that Bryce Huff is doing in the community. And then we also have Marlon Sanders, who is a graduate, of course, of the best high school in the world, and that's John L. LaFleur High School. But he works for the Philadelphia Eagles in the video department. And so both of these young men representing the city of Mobile will be playing in the Super Bowl. And so we are so grateful for all the hard work that they're participating in. And it lets you know you can play football, you can be behind the camera, you can do a lot of things to the young people in our community. This past week, I had a great opportunity to fellowship with Franklin Street Baptist Church, located in District 1. Pastor Marlon Jones, with the brothers with my brothers of Mobile Alumni Chapter at Kappa Alpha Psi. We had opportunity to celebrate and hear one of the city departments, Kappa Man of the Year, Kendall Young. But he brought an amazing word. So we had a great time. I will be visiting. I'll be at Good Shepherd in February to speak at their program. So thank you to everyone who is inviting me out. Love being out in the community. And then this past week, of course, we had the snowstorm here in the city of Mobile, and I had a great time playing snowball fights with my kids, something I never imagined. Since 1895, we broke a record, so it's pretty cool to be able to do that. But we also celebrated that past week Dr. Martin Luther King legacy, and it was so amazing to hear the stories, to hear the different activities. We went to the Blacks in Government, we went to the rally was so many different events taken in the city of Mobile, and I just want to commend every organization that made that happen. And so we got to understand that in February we'll be celebrating the African American History Month, but we also have to understand that African American History Month is not just for African Americans; it's American history. People like the Tuskegee Airmen, and so we want to make sure that we're celebrating not just for a month, but we celebrating throughout the year. And then, I would also like to close with this. It's something that I always try to use my voice when I have an opportunity to speak, that we see a lot of things taking place in our community, and I believe Mobile can always be that example. And my hopes is that we, as a collective representative of Mobile, can come together in our communities, our city, and we can disagree, but we can do it in a respectful way. And so hopefully going forward, Mobile can show the rest of the world, this country, how to do it properly. So I just want to commend, thank you to all my colleagues that we work together to get things done. Even though we might have disagreements, we still do it in a respectful way. And hopefully that can go forward for the rest of the city of Mobile. Thank you, Mr. President.
And you forgot about Saturday afternoon that you was the speaker for the Founders Day program. You did a good job also, Councilman Penn.
Thank you, Mr. President.
District 6, Councilman Woods.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to kind of, I guess, follow back around with Councilmember Penn. I want to say thank you to all the city employees over the past, I guess, week. Obviously, 130-year snowfall kind of took a little us little folks here in Mobile a little bit of time to figure out what the stuff was, but they were prepared, so I really do appreciate greatly. Saw police officers driving skid steers. And saw firefighters out and about checking on and making runs. And then I do want to say a special thank you to Executive Director Shonda Smith, a couple and her entire Public Works team. A couple weeks ago on Facebook, I saw where if you had to put, oh no, it wasn't on Facebook. It was quoted in Mobile Bay Magazine. Someone's quote was, if you had to put a Mount Rushmore of people in the city of Mobile, and one of the comments was it'd be Shonda Smith. And after the last week, I will say that I do fully support Shonda Smith going on Mount Rushmore at Mobile. So thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman Woods. District 2, Councilman Carroll.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, to the city employees and everyone that responded to Snowmageddon, great job. I think that we really got it right in our announcements, in our plans, what we plan to do and how we handled the process. So great job to the administration, to the forecasters, to the EMA, and especially to our city employees that kept our roadways safe and then helped to clean up after the fact. This is just a reminder of my February meeting spin that we've started and gotten in place. Hopefully the mailers have gone out on time announcing the dates and places that we will be meeting for those in particular areas. We will be meeting from February throughout the month and one into March, where we come back into the regular district around the campground and in the bottom area. The meeting in the campground area hopefully will be at that time to discuss how we plan to move forward with our affordable housing program, what the target area again is, how the city's department has set the program up to work, the start dates that we're possibly looking at, and all the other amenities that go with that. So I'm looking for that meeting to happen early March. But the standard meetings that we go through every year at the beginning of the year to start in that new section of District 2, since you guys are the newest to the way that I kind of have been doing things, so that you guys can get my email addresses, telephone numbers, whatever our process of complaint resolution and SRO setup. We'll go through all of that as we work our way through those parts of the district. Also, this morning, I stated that there's an agenda item for the increase of the mayor's salary from 125 to 195. I know that somewhat of an increase is possible, but I want to hear from you to know what you think. Please email me or call me or hit my direct message box up and let me know what you think. My email address is council2@cityofmobile.org. My telephone number is 251-404-4107. Text me and let me know what you think about a mayoral salary increase, whether you are extremely forward or there's some middle ground of what. I'd like to hear what the general public has to say about this. And the reason being is, again, the mean salary in the city of Mobile is $51,000 a year. And I know that CEOs deserve a set amount of money, but Mobile, our cost of living and wage rates are different from Huntsville and Birmingham and all those other places. So I'd like to hear, especially from District 2, and what you think about a salary increase of that size, or what it should be, or how much it should be, or should we leave it alone? Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Carroll. District 5, Councilman Days.
Thank you, Mr. President. I am one of the sponsors of the legislation which would increase the mayor's salary. And I think I'd start off by saying that the increase that's proposed is no more than what would have happened if you take that $65,000 in 1985 and brought it forward into current dollars. But the more importantly is this: if you look at successful cities, if you look at cities that have been successful, they always have strong, effective mayors. You cannot have a successful city if you don't have a strong and effective mayor. Now, two examples I would give you is the city of Charleston had a guy named Joe Riley who served as mayor for 30 years. And he took Charleston, South Carolina from a backwater to one of the largest tourist destinations in the world without changing the essential character of the city. Without changing the essential character of the city. He was a transformative mayor in many, many ways. The other mayor I'd point out to is Sandy Stimpson, who took a city who was right on the edge of insolvency and brought it to the point today where we have $120 million in reserve. We're spending $50 to $60 million a year in capital. You just go through item after item. You cannot have a strong and successful city without a strong, effective mayor. Now, does increasing the salary guarantee you're going to have a strong and effective mayor? No. But does it increase the likelihood that you will? Yes. And the extra $70,000 we're talking about is what my good friend Levon Manzi used to call budget dust in a $400 million budget. I think we need to do this. But I don't want to leave today without thanking everybody in the city that had anything to do with our successful confrontation of the snow event. It's unbelievable. As I sat there in my house and looked out at that snow falling for, what was it, 8 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it was unbelievable. It was absolutely unbelievable. And they say that the weather folks didn't predict it because the models that the computers use couldn't anticipate that we would have a snowfall like that because it never happened before. It had never happened before. The city of Mobile, the National Weather Service, measured it at 7.5 inches out at the airport. I can tell you the official measurement in the Dave's front yard was 9 inches because I went out there with a ruler and measured it. And all I could do when I walked out there and sank into the snow was start laughing. It was a unique event for all of us, and I think it's something we all and our children and our grandchildren will remember forever. And a lot of it has to do with the effective response by the city. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman Days. District 7, Vice President Gregory.
Thank you, Mr. President. I too want to join my colleagues in thanking all of the city officials who participated in providing all of the public safety during our Snowmageddon. It really was quite a historic event for all of us. We measured up to 10 inches in our yard too, Councilman Daves. My dog had a big time. We all did. The snow was powdery, so that was really a unique experience for a lot of us. My husband had never seen snow, so, you know, for all of us, it was quite unusual. So thank you to first responders, to all of our public works folks who are now under the gun to get all of the garbage and trash collected. We appreciate all that you have done. And just a note to the people who have called in about the garbage or the trash, garbage in particular, because we missed Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday because of the snow and because our trucks could not get out, obviously. They began picking up again on Friday, but couldn't get to the entire route on Friday because some of the roads were still had ice and could not pass, so they had to finish their collections on Monday. They could not make it up on the weekend because the transfer stations were not open. So there was no makeup day. I think a lot of people were confused about that fact. So there was no makeup day. We are now back on regular schedule, which means regular garbage trash pickup starts today. So if your garbage cart is already out there, and most of them in my neighborhood are out there now and they are packed to the gills, our garbage crews will be by to pick those up. And I know some people got emails back from 311 that said just keep placing those bags on top of your garbage cart and, you know, our guys will pick them up. You know, they are doing the best they can, and they did the best they can with the personnel and the equipment that we have. So we just ask for your patience. They will be by to pick up your garbage, and that includes all of our annexed areas. They are on the same schedule as people who are not in the newly annexed area. So again, thank you, but just be patient. They'll be there. They will pick it up. And I think that was all. But again, thank you to everybody for what you did to make sure that it is safety first, because we were questioning, you know, whether we should cancel everything in the city. So I think that was the right call.
And I'd like to veto behind several of my colleagues and thank all of the city employees, especially the first responders, and also for Public Works for all the hard work that you all did during the snowstorm. And I'd like to thank all the event organizers for the MLK birthday celebrations throughout District 3 and throughout the city of Mobile that I participated in and also attended. Thank you all so much for recognizing a great man, one of the greatest men that walked this earth, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Is there anything from the administration? Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Properly moving second in discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?